Hey, it's Ed here. Today we're taking a look at technical analysis for SP500 with Elliott Wave Theory. Couple of advertisements here at the start. I finally completed the Elliott Wave and RSI Advanced course, so if you want to master the RSI and want to learn how it can be utilized properly with Elliott Wave Theory, check out the course on Udemy. I've also started counter trend capital with few expert traders that will be paid Discord group. Currently the Discord is free, so you can check it out if you're interested. And lastly, if you want to educate yourself and support me, you can take a look at Patreon, where you can find Elliott Wave Basics course, access to weekly live streams and extra content overall. Thank you for your support. Let's get into the charts next. Now here we are on higher time frame charts, on 1 day chart at this very moment, and again starting with this higher time frame first. So overall, the premise, without going too much detail into the account, has been that we've been in this RSI cycle where we have been gathering first this structure down here, a correction for it, and then a continuation where this would be the next structure. This would fit the idea of having this first structure as a wave WXY into these lows, and then looking for a either partner leg completing this wave X here, and then looking for a partner leg of this wave W after here. So this would be the wave Y overall. Again, this would be shifted over here. The other way of looking at this was that we would have this whole thing as a wave W, and then still we would be looking for lower prices. And again, on both these higher degree wave structures, we are looking for one more low, taking out these lows. There is one case where we have bottomed in here, which would be a WXYZ. However, these triple corrections are very rare in real markets, and again, most likely when you are seeing this kind of structure, they are going to be invalidated later or can be explained a different way later on once the price settles down and has again constructed more structures later on. Again, that's why this is more likely to be something else than this triple correction. Now overall, the idea on both the more corrective structures, if we go back to here, let's say E tower here, has been that we have a three-way structure into W, three ways into X here, or the wave X is not done and it is coming back here to create this larger wave X. Generally, wave X's are somewhat more larger in time than wave W's, but again, it does not remove the possibility of this being the wave X completely. Again, this wave Y here, if we are pivoting from these current lows that we placed X originally, we could be labeling this as the wave Y at these highs. So at this point, we would be creating a three-way structure in here, and then we'd be continuing the previous trend downwards, whether it was this larger wave X completing at in here, and this would be the wave A, B, and then looking for that C wave for a zigzag pattern. For that, again, we have a count with which is again impulsive from the highs. So let's take a look at that first. So we were talking about this previously as well, where we had this as a wave 1, 2, 1, 2. Again, we acknowledge that wave 1 here of sub-micro is larger than the higher degree wave structure of this, which is again micro. So again, there is also a possibility where this indeed was an ABC, especially since this had the resemblance of 5 waves here. Again, the wave 2 generally is not a expanded or running flat or any kind of flat in that matter. So again, that makes it less likely, so that's why I think it looks decent as a wave 1, 2, 1, 2 as well. Then again, we would have more nested patterns here, continuing with these 1, 2, 1, 2s, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, and we'd be looking, or previously I was looking at this as a potential wave 4 for another continuation to the downside. However, we did not get that. We just got a move completely to the downside. I'm not quite sure if I want to be labeling this as the wave 4, as this wave 4 would be even smaller than the previous structure here. And comparing this wave 4 to this wave 2 here is kind of small. We can see that there is a lot of different size, or at least the comparison between these two is quite large. So there is of course a chance that we'd be creating this as some kind of expanding structure, like so. Creating either a running flat here or an expanded flat when we are taking out these highs of around $4,028. And at that point, again, we'd be creating that structure, and then it would be a bit more comparable to this possible size here if we are comparing these two. So that is still the main idea here, that for this impulsive wave count. We zoom out again a bit to look at the other scenario where, again, this was going to be, let's see, where did I have it? Not that one, but this one, where again we would have this as a three-way structure into that W, three ways into X. We'd be looking for either a corrective wave structure here, as in the form of some kind of overlapping structures, or again that same impulse wave counter starting something here, where this would be a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we'd be getting a pullback and then a continuation of that trend, and wave Y would be shifted over even more so. But again, we still have that possibility of this whole thing being a corrective structure based on how overlapping we have it here. Again, this can be a part of a nesting structure that we had on that impulsive wave count, but again, also it has the possibility of being this corrective structure. Now, at this point again, we can be labeling this in 3. The issue that we have with this kind of this way of labeling is this structure over here. Again, as mentioned, it was more of a 5-way structure, but I think there is a possibility where we can be labeling it like this as some kind of ABC structure where, or WXY, where this last leg is just super extended. But again, this is not the best looking structure, to be honest. Overall, 1.618 hit also for this WXY, where we are seeing very much extended wave Y here, and also this potential 3-way structure into W, 3 ways into X, and then another 3-way structure here into that wave Y, completing this whole WXY at these 1-to-1 extensions. So there is some confluence here at the 1.618 and the 1-to-1 extension of this move here, but again, it's not the best look. Getting any kind of extensions longer than the 1.618 for WXYs are kind of rare, and therefore I'm not really favoring them at all. Now, at this moment, I do like the impulse wave structure better. As long as we are going to be continuing this kind of structure where we are finishing this structure here and then getting some kind of move back, I would be definitely looking for short possibilities on this again. There is definitely ways and possibilities of looking for scalps up higher here for this potential 3s and 4s, if this indeed turns into being this this impulsive wave structure to the downside. But yeah, it's definitely not an easy count. It's definitely a lot of overlaps here, as again, which makes it less probable to make it into more an impulse wave structure, and it is less probable to trade as well, since we don't have very clear structures at all. But for the next week, I'm expecting this whole thing to be completed, or at least up to the wave 4 here. There is a chance that we're just doing this for the whole week, and that is more in line with the expectation that we would have here for these wave 4s. If we are doing that consolidation there, the WXY count is not looking too good. However, again, the expectation here could be that we would be creating either this 3-way structure downwards, and it would be already finished here. However, again, the extensions are just not that good. We are missing the 1-to-1, I think. Yeah, we are missing the 1-to-1 here. We only hit the 0.618, which is again the minimum we want to see for a 3-way move. So if we wanted to have that as the continuation structure, I would expect it to come lower as well. So this WXY is not really playing too well here. However, if this indeed is a 3-way structure here, 3 ways here, we could be looking for another 3-way structure upwards to create a structure like this to complete this whole thing upwards a bit more, since again the this structure was not hitting the 1-to-1 of this first structure over here. I think I have it somewhere here. Yeah, this one. So again, the target for originally was $4,400, and we only hit around the $4,200 again. So that's one of the issues here. Now, time-wise, if we are looking at this potential X wave here, and we are comparing it in time to this current structure, we see that this is already larger than this structure over here, which makes it less probable that this is a substructure, meaning that it most likely is either part of this whole thing like so, and then we would be getting that wave Y, or this whole thing is finished, and this last leg here again where wave Y would be labeled in is just more short than normal, or more shorter than the expectation, I guess. But yeah, at this moment I'm not looking for any short trade at these lows. I would be expecting us to get a bit higher before I would be looking into shorts. These channels are still working that we had labeled from the origin of this move downwards to the X wave and pivoted again from this W. We saw that we had a rejection here at the outer edge of this channel. So again, we had quite a violent move downwards. But again, that doesn't have to mean anything. It just might mean that there was some, again, other expectations here at the same level, like the fact that we had this fair value gap here and the first resistance right above it, where we actually stopped here and rejected down. Again, more confidence the better, but it does not mean that these levels always have to be respected. But yeah, I think those are the expectations I have for the next week. Potential consolidation more likely to me than anything else. If we see more enough up move, then we might be creating this wave Y overall. But I think that is going to do it. Again, if you made it this far into the video, I would appreciate the likes and comments on the video. If you want to educate yourself and support me, you can take a look at Patreon. You can take a look at the course on Udemy that is about RSI and Elliott Wave, especially the RSI cycles and everything that goes into it that I use. It's all there. Check out CC4 signals as well. That's where we are going to be more likely to post them as well. But yeah, thanks for watching and see you on the next video. Bye bye.